Alright, we've got something big to talk about today. You might think version 5.7 is all about Skirk, and honestly, with how long we've been waiting for her, that would make sense. She's tied to the Abyss, and some of the oldest mysteries in the game. But the more you look at HoYoverse's recent moves, the more it starts to feel like Skirk might just be the bait, because what's coming after her release looks even more calculated. We've got new info on Columbina, a massive cinematic reveal planned, a brand new region, and even an 8-player gameplay mode that could change how we play Genshin altogether. So in this video, we're breaking down what HoYo is really planning for the second half of the year, how Columbina fits into all of this, and why now might be the worst time to spend all your Primogems, unless you're ready for what comes next. Skirk's release is finally here. As we head into the second half of 2025, there's something really interesting happening behind the scenes in Genshin Impact. Skirk is finally becoming playable in version 5.7, dropping on June 18th. That's huge. She's been teased for years, tied into the Abyss, Tartalia's backstory, and all the mysterious lore that got veteran players speculating since version 1X. But the timing of her release, and what HoYoverse is doing immediately after, raises a few eyebrows. Because less than 10 days after Skirk's banner drops, HoYo is already lining up the next hype wave, and that's where Columbina comes in. Now, if you haven't been following the recent leaks and development info, let me catch you up. Around July 25th, based on multiple sources, including dev insiders and data mining circles, HoYo plans to release a major teaser PV, something very similar to Natlan's Ignition teaser. But this time, the focus isn't on pyro or fire or volcanoes. This teaser is expected to act as a prelude to the new region Nod Cry, and it's going to introduce Columbina in a really big way. She's not just another Fatui Harbinger cameo like we saw with Capitano or Arlecchino early on. From the way things are shaping up, Columbina is being positioned as the face of version 6.0 and beyond. That teaser is just the beginning. In version 6.0 itself, HoYo is preparing to launch a full 3D animated short film, similar in quality and style to what they've done in Honkai Impact 3rd. And this cinematic, it's going to be centered entirely around Columbina. That's a serious level of investment for a single character, and it's pretty rare to see HoYoverse go all in like this, unless the character is expected to be a major driver for the next phase of the game's marketing and monetization. But here's the thing, Columbina's actual banner release isn't expected until version 6.3, according to reputable leak source White. And based on early internal data, she's likely going to be a 5-star Hydro character, positioned as a main DPS. The part about her being meta-relevant isn't officially confirmed yet, but that's the direction current testing seems to be pointing toward. And let's be honest, Hydro is objectively the strongest element in the game right now, whether it's enabling powerful reactions like Bloom, Hyperbloom, Vaporize, or simply fueling overpowered units like Nuvolette, Farina, or Yelan. Hydro has a consistent track record of dominating the meta, so if Columbina really is a main DPS Hydro unit, she's not just going to attract lore fans. She has the potential to be a game changer for meta chasers too. And when you look at the big picture, that makes a lot of sense. Because for the first time since Genshin launched, we're heading into a new region cycle, Nod Cry, and we're not getting an Archon. That's right, no Tsaritsa release in version 6.x, at least based on everything credible so far. So if there's no Archon banner to anchor the hype and money like Mavuika, Raiden, or Furina did, HoYo needs a serious alternative. And that's probably why they're pushing Columbina this hard. The cinematic short, the early teaser, the build-up across multiple patches, it's all pointing toward one thing. They expect her to carry the 6.x cycle financially, not just as a cool character, but as the centerpiece of the region. If they're skipping the Archon release during Nod Cry, Columbina has to fill that gap. And based on the investment we're already seeing, it's clear HoYo isn't doing this casually. They're betting big on her. Now let's zoom out and look at the strategy. We just got Skirk after years of waiting, and let's be honest, many of us are already pre-farming, watching teaser clips and planning teams. And then bam, before her banner even hits its second week, HoYo drops a cinematic quality teaser that introduces an entirely new region and makes Columbina look like the next god-tier character. That's not a coincidence. That's pure psychological timing. It plays on a common HoYo tactic. Release a highly anticipated character like Skirk to get players to spend Primogems early, then immediately pivot and tease the next major unit just as wallets and fates are drained. And it works, but this time, they're stretching that formula even further. Because not only are they rolling out Columbina over multiple patches, they're also bundling her introduction with an entirely new region and a brand new game mode. Let's talk about that mode for a second. It's called 1000 Star Wilderness, and it's Genshin's upcoming UGC mode, short for user-generated content. This isn't some small mini-game. Internal tests show it offers a very high degree of freedom, with support for up to 8-player co-op. That alone changes the way we think about Genshin's future, because it shifts the game from curated developer content to a platform where players can create and share their own gameplay experiences. Even the default character model in this mode is getting attention. Instead of the Traveler, players will use a new avatar that strongly resembles Keking, especially in terms of outfit design. And this might not even be just a one-off feature. If Genshin is shifting towards systems like this, more social, more sandbox, more community-driven, Columbina's arc and the launch of Nod Cry could represent the start of something way bigger than just another nation or Archon cycle. The way HoYo is layering the hype between cinematic drops, advanced teases, and mode overhauls suggests they're preparing for a major shift in how the game is played and monetized going forward. So here's the question. Are we going to fall for it again? Are we going to drop everything on Skirk now, knowing full well that the biggest marketing push of the year is about to hit just days later? That's the game HoYo is playing. They want players to feel like they're missing out now if they skip Skirk, but also build pressure toward Columbina by showing her in an ultra-stylized cinematic where she looks like a literal goddess. It's a smart move, but it's also a calculated one. And that's what makes it so tricky, because if Columbina really is a 5-star Hydro main DPS, and if she ends up being as strong or meta-defining as early tests suggest, then pulling Skirk now might come back to haunt those who don't have deep Primogem reserves. Still, there's a lot we don't know yet. Columbina's kit hasn't leaked in full. The UGC system is still in testing, and version 6.0 itself hasn't even been officially revealed, but based on the patterns we've seen, and what's already showing up in data mines and leaker circles, this strategy is lining up exactly the way HoYo likes to run their long-term hype cycles. Drop a comment and tell me your plans. This second half of the year looks like it's going to be packed with bait banners, big reveals, and possibly the most dramatic shift in gameplay we've seen since launch. Stay sharp, and maybe hold those Primogems a little tighter.